economic insecurity.
What do you mean?
So that's where the cultural appropriation argument comes from, right? It's economic insecurity. It's always broke people talking about it. I never hear people who are successful complain about cultural appropriation, because every successful person, everyone has appropriated culture to get where they're at, right? Radio was a white art form. You have appropriated it to immense success.
It was black radio hosts back in the day. It's always been black radio. Black radio was all we had.
They weren't allowed to be on the radio.
What do you mean?
When radio first came out, it was just white people doing it. There's a history of systemic racism in this country.
Schulz, man, I can't agree with you, man. I mean, but I do rock with you because you told Charlamagne to his face that he's a radio culture vulture, because radio is white culture. That's crazy. What do you guys think? Is radio white culture? Is Schulz right on that? Does Charlamagne owe his career to Howard Stern because Howard Stern was white and popular? I think it's a vastly huge difference. Hip-hop was for people in the hood that was going against the police, coming from the hood, coming from the ghetto, lost identity. Hip-hop, remember, all right, this is for the new kids. Hip-hop is not for popping bottles. That's not what hip-hop was about. Hip-hop wasn't about popping bottles. Hip-hop was about the struggle. It was born in the struggle. So people think that, oh, Tupac was boring. Biggie was boring. Rakim was boring, because they're talking about the struggle. But the era they was in, it was no camera phones. It was no smartphones. It was no cell phones. You couldn't live through anybody else's life. You had to go get it. If you couldn't see that, you couldn't not talk to that girl in class or the last day of school and then hit her up online. You better get that ass now. That's why back then, if you realize, the music was way more soulful. Hey there, lonely girl, nigga. Oh, he's simping. Yo, he a simp. He not simping. He want that ass. All right? But listen, man, it's your boy Morley Moore, a.k.a. Mola Soul. Listen, Schulz said a lot of crazy shit. Yeah, listen, I feel like just a huge difference. You know, black people have made a lot of inventions. Back then, black people were not allowed to do certain things. But we always joan on each other. We always joke on each other. We always cut ass. We always did that. That's part of our culture. So radio is the platform, but the platform isn't the culture. The platform isn't really the culture. I think the culture is the culture. The culture is the culture. If it's a culture that Irish people every St. Patrick's Day get saucy and do this and wear green, that's a culture, because it's a dress code, it's a culture, it's a style, it's a lingo. But a radio show is not gender specific. You know what I'm saying? It's not specific to anybody. You have a show. Okay. Your show could be a culture to you and your fans, but hip-hop is bigger than that. Hip-hop is way bigger than that. Hip-hop was a way for disenfranchised people to express themselves, you feel me, abroad, to a whole array of people. You understand? It was not supposed to be $1 million operation, $1 billion operation. That's not what it was started on. That's not what it was built upon. It was an outlet for the disenfranchised. Understand? So if Bruno Mars makes an album full of New Jack Swing, and New Jack Swing is a black sub-genre, Bruno Mars don't gotta pay nobody. He don't have to be extorted. He don't have to be walking around like 6ix9ine. But he does owe a line. Yo, shout out to New Jack Swing. Shout out to Teddy Riley. Yo, shout out to Teddy Riley. Shout out to Teddy Riley. At least. That's like if a country singer, and that goes back to the Lil Xan point. That's like a country singer who's black and wasn't born in the country. A black country singer that was born in the Bronx, that's not from the country, like making a country album and saying that Kenny Chesney's ass. Like, do you think he'll be at the CMA Awards? No. You've totally taken over our culture. It wasn't about popping bottles and fucking bitch. That's not what it was about. It was about the struggle, the gutter, how to get out of it, codes, how to live, motivation. That's what it was about. Understand what I'm saying? But yo, tell me what y'all think, man. It's your boy Molly Moore. Listen, man, I don't care if I have 1 subscriber or 2 subscribers. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and tell me what you think. It's all about you. It's all about everybody subscribe to More Lasso TV. Join hip hop. This is purely hip hop raw. This is for y'all. This is for the people. All right.